Hello and welcome into the most must see, most must listen. No one wants to see Marty Scroll have an ass podcast you will ever see or hear grace your speakers. It is the Ace and Hole podcast. You're hearing my voice, which means after last week's controversial trivia classic showdown, Cliff is your undisputed Ace in the Hole predictions champion. And I'll go ahead and introduce the other co-host for today, the Crypt Keeper, per se. Is that what we labeled him, or was that Cliff? It's hard to keep track here of.
I think he was the
I
titles
am,
and
because
labels.
I'm the fucker who's still doing and is trying to get set up for next week the Ace by the Numbers. Because that fucker wants to pretend that he knows our history. He ain't no shit.
Eli, you hear him? And then myself, the Ace in the Bank and United National Ace Sports Champion, Austin, coming to you this week. A lot happened in the week of sports. We have a free week, and we have a parlay we need to wrap up, recap, some other things happening, some moving and shaking, just happening in general, especially in the NFL, as well as motorsports. And so we just decided to do a sports episode this week because next week is a very big deal.
The big episode next week.
Sorry, I was reading what was put in chat. I had no idea. It just popped up. Anyway, next week, very big, going to Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Hopefully that arena will be built. It's looking like it's near done. They have just, I'm guessing, the entrance side to put on now. Looks like the rest of the arena stadium thing is built. And so far we have one match. Obviously, we have the Royal Rumble matches, the men's and women's. Well, we have the career versus Gunther match, I guess. I don't know. AJ Styles putting his career on the line versus Gunther. Seems to become a theme here, obviously. And AJ said he was going to retire in 2026. Well, let's hope it's not this early. Be kind of absurd if it was this early, but a stat to carry forward looking into next week and something to chew on. Gunther is undefeated in televised singles non-championship matches. Undefeated in the entire WWE. The only times he has lost is when he has a title around his waist. Every other time he has won.
Yeah, he tapped out to Jey Uso.
Yep. And lost to Sami Zayn and Ilja Dragunov. So, something
One
to
of
keep
those
in mind.
is not like the others.
Something to keep in mind moving forward. The aforementioned Sami Zayn will probably be a featured piece of that Royal Rumble. And the Saturday night's main event coming up this Saturday before the Royal Rumble next weekend. 8-9 days from now. It takes place in Quebec, Montreal, Quebec, Canada. We'll just go ahead and you just want to tackle that real quick before we move on.
Yeah, I would love to talk about that real quick.
I was looking at analytics.
Wrestling champ.
Yeah. I'd love to talk about Saturday night's main event, XL Triple I.
Marty Scroll. Fucking
he might be there. He might be in the Rumble.
No,
the Fed's cool with that kind of shit now.
No. Well, yeah, if they are cool with that type of shit, go look at Brock. They don't give a fuck.
Yep.
Bum-ass Brock Lesnar, bum-ass Marty Scroll. Why don't we just make them a team and call them the Predators?
Oh, yeah. However, not talking about the pests and the predators. Talking about Saturday night main event. Coming to you live from Montreal, Quebec, Canada, from the Bell Center. Home of the Canadians. There will be a grand total of 3 matches that have already been announced. And more than likely, probably going to be 3. As there's one TV show between now and the event. So, crazy work. 3 matches we have. Cody Rhodes versus Jacob Fatu in the rubber match. for Fatu getting involved at.
You say rubber match like it's not the first time they fought.
Well, that's a grudge match.
Well, I guess technically he was a part of the bloodline that
Yeah. But
had issues with, I think.
for Jacob's interference in his 3 stages of hell match against Drew. And then we also have Rio as Rhea Ripley and Io defend the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship against the Judgment Day, which is Liv Morgan and Roxanne. And a fatal 4-way match to determine the number 1 contender for the undisputed WWE Championship at Royal Rumble. They will be taking on Drew. Randy Orton versus Trick Williams versus Damian Priest versus Sami Zayn. Those are the 3 matches we got. Like, ain't really got much else.
Yeah, and then Rumble. We don't got much for that either. We have the 1 match.
We got 4 matches for the Rumble and all of like 5 people.
I guess technically we have 4 matches now, but we don't know the other half of the Drew match.
We've got the 2 Rumbles, AJ Styles' career, and Drew versus the winner of that fatal 4-way.
We actually have entrants now for the Royal Rumble.
We have some. Not
we
a
have
lot.
6 for the men and 8 for the women's. And only 1 of those is not from Raw for both of them. All of them are from Raw in the women's, and 5 of 6, besides Cody Rhodes, is from Raw.
So what I'm hearing is there's going to be a lot of people who announce their intent to be in the Rumble on SmackDown.
Yeah, either this week or... I just don't know why they just keep it a surprise. Like, yeah, I'd say half or less. Announce half or less. Make your big
we
stars...
won't have anybody to guess if they announce more than that.
Like, I think this is perfect. Like, maybe a few more than this, because the names you have now are Cody, Gunther, Jay, Ray,
Gunther's not
Dragon Lee, and Penta.
Gunther said he was going to, unless he could face AJ Styles for his career. So, that being said, you would think that means he's not going to be in the Rumble now, because he got AJ Styles put his career on the line.
I don't know. Here it says he's still listening.
That's crazy.
But what I'm saying is, like, if you put your big stars as, like, declared, people will buy the tickets. Last half, they're buying off of speculation. Who the fuck might it be? Probably Cardona, probably fucking...
Powerhouse Ops?
Yep.
Evil?
Jericho? Who knows? But that's why people go to the Rumble. People go to the Rumble to be surprised, not... I'd say the only exception was this past year because they had so many stars in it.
Yeah.
They had Roman, Seth, not Cody. Roman, Seth, CM Punk, Cena,
Jay, because Jay was hot back then.
Right, say that's the one name I wanted to say, but I didn't know if we were counting it. He was pretty hot at the time, so Jay, Penta, I don't know.
Is this the one that started off with Jay and Jimmy?
No, this is the one that started off with Penta and Ray.
This is Rumble.
This is the one I was at. Because when Penta came out, I drank my beer and smashed it over my head. I had like half a beer left, and I told Kenna, I was like, because Ray came out, and I'm like, if this is Penta, I'm drinking my beer and smashing it over my head. And the lights went out.
Style.
Yeah, and as soon as the lights went out, the like red shit started. There was like lights flickering red in the stadium. I just started drinking, and then the 8 for the.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, what were you going to say?
Well, I was going to say that I learned something about ECW this week, and it should pique your interest, Austin. Is that apparently to get the best match out of the Sandman he had to be a certain level of drunk.
That doesn't surprise me.
So, for example, because this was it was one of the ECW originals talking in an interview. I can't remember which one it was, but they were talking about how it took them about a month and a half to figure out the ratio. So, if they kept him sober and he just had the 2 or 3 beers on the way to the ring, he was stiff, not very fluid. It just wasn't there. But if he had about 48 or more beers, he was way too fluid.
Yeah, I would say so.
So they
That's quite the
found
jump.
that the
Sober to
golden
48.
sweet spot for Sandman, this is including the beers in his entrance, is between 16 and 32.
Is that like throughout the day or?
I don't know. I could not find the rest of the interview when I tried to look it up later that day because I found it when I was at work. But yeah, apparently they figured out how drunk to get the Sandman to get the absolute best match out of him.
That doesn't surprise me.
I'm gonna look that up real quick for the rest of that.
Well, while you're looking that up, the 8 women from Raw that declared for the Women's Royal Rumble match are Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, Roxanne Perez, Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, Bayley, Lyra Valkyria, and Asuka. Pretty much the entire women's tag division. Yeah. Anything else from wrestling other than Marty Scurll's a bum-ass fucking bitch and Hangman is by extension for hanging out with him?
So
I saw people saying that was AI. Are we buying that? I'm not buying that, considering Marty Scurll's the one that fucking posted it.
You want to talk about AI? Hang on. Fucking
it was Stevie
Dominic
Richards,
Mysterio
by the way.
wearing the AEW
Stevie?
title for a AAA video.
Yeah, you don't want to point that out? How the fuck
Yeah,
did
we
that get
talk
through
about that.
production?
How do you
It was
not?
a
How do you
AAA
miss
production,
that?
to be fair. It was on AAA
That-
television.
How do you still miss that though? Like I feel like that's something you would notice.
People don't know what they're
I
looking for.
hope.
So yeah,
It
they said the exact sweet spot that they were Stevie Richards and then were able to lock into was between 10 and 16 beers for Sandman.
See, that's a lot more reasonable than 16 to 32. You say 10 to 16?
Yeah, 10 to 16 is the exact.
And that's including or not including?
That is including the entrance beers.
Okay, yeah, so that's not bad. Like, that's
But this is
about 8.
this is
8
within
beers?
2 hours of before the match started.
Hey,
So show start to main event.
I was convinced that he was downing 32 2
10 to
seconds ago when he
16.
told me. That's good, because I see him doing stuff now, and he's like being a grandpa or
Yeah,
a
he
grandpa
got
now.
out and it's surprisingly okay. Thankfully.
Yeah, considering his entire gimmick was drinking.
Wasn't getting drunk and being extreme, smoking in the ring, all this other kinds of shit.
But yeah. Anything else? I mean, Hangman might have just killed his career.
I'm very interested to see what the hell comes of that because that's it just
Well, and Cliff,
feels.
I brought it up earlier, and you didn't really say anything about it. And I don't want to speak out of my ass because, to be fair, it was only a handful of people that I saw saying it. But the Elite came out and denounced Marty Scurll when all this happened. They said hey, he's no longer a member of the Elite or Bullet Club or whatever. Wasn't Hangman the only one that not denounced him? Everyone else was yeah, fuck that guy, and Hangman was all right.
I can't remember honestly.
I saw a handful of people saying that, and that was kind of the general consensus because they were oh, it's not shocking that the one guy that such and such didn't denounce not Sandman, fucking Scroll is now going and eating Cracker Barrel with him. I don't know, very bad move. I don't know how you let someone do that. If I'm Hangman, I'm either never talking to him again or we're having a nice long talk. Given his name in the context. Anything else wrestling wise before we move on? Huh?
Yeah, I really can't think of anything else other than for some reason Natalia turned on Maxine Dupree, just killing that entire storyline. So,
I saw that.
what the fuck?
I was not bringing that up for a reason.
Like,
Because
it
the
just kind of
storyline
pissed
for
me off.
storyline for the college football playoff national championship was way better than that Maxine and Natalia storyline. I'm not saying that because I don't like either of them. I agree with you. I don't know why we're already pulling the plug on that. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
But the Hoosiers getting it done in their first ever national championship. Fernando Mendoza, you almost can't write it better. He does it himself. He throws a touchdown. He takes it himself. One time diving across the line.
In his words, taking shots from the front and the back.
Yep. And I was saying this the entire time. I just don't think there was a better national championship given the cards we were dealt with the teams that were in the playoff. Alabama got taken care of. Yeah, they got the first round. Whatever. Doesn't fucking matter. Yeah, BTA by Indiana, just like Oregon. And then we get a Miami-Indiana matchup. I know Georgia's not liked. That's fine. I like Georgia. Cool. But I also understand that I would rather have Miami than fucking Ole Miss. Or anybody else probably from that side.
Yeah.
Tulane would have been cool, but...
I mean, it's not an SEC school, so...
Exactly. And then Paul Feinbaum's got to move out of the nation now. I don't know if you guys saw that. Beginning of the year, he said if the national championship winner was not an SEC team, that he was moving out of the nation. And so I will see if he follows through on that.
We can only hope.
And much like Eli, the glazing has not stopped for this IU team, and a very confusing. I don't want to say it's confusing, but unexpected. I think Mendoza's brother is going to Georgia Tech. I don't like that as a Georgia fan, but I also get not wanting to sit behind the guy they're bringing in, especially if you know that that's their guy and they've straight up told you that that's the way that they're going. Eli, why didn't Notre Dame try to make a play to go get Mendoza?
Because Notre Dame's just a bunch of fucking bums at this point. I mean, miss out on the best fucking bowl game ever invented. One of, not
well,
the
it's because
best,
they got to
one
prepare
of the
for
best.
BYU. They play them the next 3 years. There's no way they were going to go play them in a bowl game.
And Notre Dame wasn't the only school that didn't go into a bowl game.
Definitely the most notable, though.
But the way they went about it is what's kind of caused a lot of the stir with it. Because, I mean, Florida State didn't go. But do a lot of people know that? No. Kansas State didn't do one. Do a lot of people know that? No. But the fact that you didn't because you rightfully so did not make it to the fucking playoffs is a bunch of bullshit. Hands down. It's a bunch of fucking bullshit. That man should not have been on the halftime show for the championship game by any means. He shouldn't have been on the pre-show for it by any means. He shouldn't have been anywhere fucking near it. Your bum ass couldn't lead your fucking team to a bowl game. Why the fuck are you showing up at the championship game? Makes no fucking sense.
Who are you talking about?
Freeman.
Oh, yeah.
Freeman was there on the show.
Oh, I didn't
fucking
see that part.
Bullshit that he was there. Couldn't fucking take your team anywhere.
I thought you were talking about Saban for a second. I was like, that's crazy, Dick.
No, I think get why he did it. I think Georgia Tech, because Georgia Tech was in the Pop-Top Bowl. Pop-Top Bowl is pretty much just stapled itself as two of the better teams that didn't make it to the playoffs are going to be in the Pop-Top Bowl. I mean, that's just kind of how that is. That's the reason why you had BYU there. BYU is one of the first schools out. Georgia Tech has a good chance of making it into the playoff picture, potentially. Maybe that's why he goes there. I don't know. I'm with a lot of people of, if he messes up at IU, he's going to get looked at of, oh, well, your brother didn't do this. Your brother would have done this. It would have been. If he does really good, I still think he gets comparisons to his brother, which
he's going
sucks
to
immensely. So going to a new school, a school that is set up pretty damn well for the foreseeable future, I can see why you would go. I can see why you would transfer over there. Notre Dame is not set up for the foreseeable future. I don't think I've said on podcast. I did a wheel spin for the Pac-12. I don't think either one of these two did it. I did a spin, and that's going to be the Pac-12 team that I cheer on all season long because the Pac-12's coming back. And I got San Diego State. Out of all the teams I could have got Boise. That would have been nice. Colorado State would have been better. I got fucking Boise. But San Diego. I could have ended up with Fresno, and that would have been a hell of a lot worse. But my question, I feel like we have a little bit of a changing of the guard in NCAA football. In at least the playoff picture. You're always going to have Georgia, Ohio, Alabama. Those schools are going to make it in. There is no question in my mind that at least one of them is going to make it in. They have to. I mean, you had the SEC championship. Unless Georgia and Alabama completely shit the bed, they're going to be in there somewhere. What school, especially with having Tulane and James Madison in there, do you see Tulane making it back? I don't think James Madison makes it back, but do you see potentially like a school like Tulane making it back into the
whole reason
the playoff
Tulane and JMU were there is because the ACC is a sham of a conference. That's the whole reason why those two were there. And their rules for how they decipher their conference champion are so fucking convoluted, and it didn't make any sense why the teams that were in that championship game played, and the ACC champion didn't make it in. Because it wasn't Miami this year, it was Duke. So, Miami gets in, not as the ACC champion, and because of how the fucking wording is, the top 4 conference champions that are ranked the highest in the poll get in. And that's how we got into the position we were in, with 2 G5s getting in, which is fine. But it's just with how everything is, it is awful.
So, there is a way to do this. Because it's a 12 seed playoff picture?
11 and a group 5.
So, not including independents, you have 10 different conferences here. Your next 2, so you give a spot to each champion. Your group of 5 is going to be your people that you have in the round 1. Like, there's no other way around it. You're going to have the Big 10, you're going to have the ACC, you're going to have the Big 12, you're going to have the SEC as your bye weeks. I don't see any other way around that.
So you're saying conference champions get in, and then you have 2 at-large?
You have 2 at-large potentially that are going. Now, with the fucking Notre Dame deal, as long as Notre Dame's in 12, that's going to be an at-large.
Which I think is absolute horseshit, but, you know.
It's all we have to do is play good enough to be in fucking 12th, and then we're fucking in.
You want the perks of being in a conference, then join a goddamn conference.
We fucking play an ACC schedule, but that's, oh my god, that's a fucking, I don't know if I've gotten into it on the podcast. We legit hockey with Big Ten and basketball. We're in the fucking ACC commercial.
Yeah.
We're in the ACC commercial for basketball.
Yep.
Hockey, we're in the Big Ten. So why the fuck can we not just put ourselves in a conference for fucking football?
I think it was...
It's not hard.
Oh god, I think it was Brian Kelly who said this, and I agreed with it pretty hard. Conferencing is going to ruin the rest of collegiate sports, so make football the only sport without a conference. Like, you would have to put so much extra work in to figure out who's got what, yada yada yada, because there's no conference play. But make football unconferenced. All 136 can play all 136. Protect your own rivalries. Schedule your own grudge matches. Yada yada yada. So that way, the swim team from Maryland isn't going to have to fly all the way to Oregon.
Well, the only issue you potentially run into with that is when you get to playoff time. Your tougher teams are going to want to schedule the easier teams.
Well, eventually
that's
some
what
of
you're
them are
gonna
going to
fall
have
into.
to miss out.
And
Because
you're
if they're
going
not willing
to-
to do a strength of schedule test,
But how do you
then
determine that strength of schedule?
the SEC invented that metric 3 years ago.
Oh, fucking SEC also makes it in fucking easy peasy lemon squeezy majority of the time.
But yeah, the SEC invented the strength of schedule metric 3 years ago.
I don't think you
Or
get rid
better
of them.
yet-
I don't think you have as many as we fucking do.
Better yet, here's another idea. We're all about technology and shit nowadays. What if we just take the human aspect out of it, and let a computer name the top 2 teams in the country, and then they can play each other? Right? Nothing could ever go wrong with
Well,
that.
that's what they fucking did.
I'm aware
That was
that's
the
old
original
system, Eli.
fucking game.
I'm aware. That was the original, yeah.
Coaches fucking pick the 2 best fucking teams and they play for the championship.
Yep.
That was the original fucking thing. How far we have strayed away from greatness. That's where we were at, and now we're fucking here. And it is such utter bullshit. It's what's caused the forming of a lot of different conferences, the closure of a lot of different conferences. It's what started some of these recruitment hours, which is why Georgia Tech and Tulane ended up leaving the SEC. 2 founding people leaving a conference because of recruitment hours and bullshit that started from trying to stray away from a lot of the basic things that made it a very simple process to determine who was going to be champion. And then you started adding more and more rules to it, and what started even more was the fucking UCF fiasco. The undefeated UCF.
The one their bowl
where
game.
they were the champions, even though they didn't play in the championship game. But they are champions, and they're called champions. If you look it up, they were determined to be champion because they were undefeated. But they didn't play in a championship game.
Thankfully, we don't have to worry about that anymore because IU took care of that.
Yeah.
Well, I guess
But
Michigan took care of it a couple years ago when they went undefeated.
I want to see, and I've said it before, I get tired of watching, okay, we got Ohio and Alabama, we got Georgia and Ohio, we got
always gonna
Georgia,
have the blue
Bama.
bloods. You can't get rid of that.
I enjoy being able to seeing 4 teams that I've not seen go against each other in a while. That was fucking nice.
Then you know what? I've got this thing for you. On Wednesday night, turn on ESPN News. There's a little something called the Wednesday Night Maction. There you go. Problem solved.
We get to watch the Mac Attack.
Hey, I ain't gonna let you talk bad about the Mac, man. Some of the best football I've ever seen
I'm
was
not
played
going
in
to
the
talk
Mac.
shit about the Mac. The Mac's nice. I am Ball State, as much as they get paid to get run over. You have Miami of Ohio, who typically will make a bowl game every single season and put on a good game doing it.
20-0 Miami of Ohio basketball team, ranked 25th in the nation right now. Just wanted to shout that out real quick.
Like the MAC has some pretty good, but that's why I'm saying that's
And
where
then they have Akron, who is just trash. But
that's where. But this is what just came to mind after I said it too. The 10 teams. You have a team who fucking lost just about every single game, but they only won. Like you have MAC. All they won was the MAC conference games, but they lost everything else. Is that really a team that should be in round 1 of the playoffs?
in your proposed system, yeah,
I would say
about this
no.
fucking UCF Natty, and no, they claim it, and Orlando claims it, but they're the only ones that claim it.
Yeah,
even
it's not
the NCAA went back and used like the BCS algorithm, and they said that they only met one. So Alabama met 11 of the 12 winner, like they won 11 of the 12 categories, and UCF only won one of those 12 categories.
That's hilarious.
Where the fuck did the piano key come from?
I think that was him picking up his cup.
Yeah.
But rather than like national champion or national co-champion, they finish as final national polls leader rather than national champion. So
that sounds like a participation trophy with extra steps.
According to UCF, Orlando Sentinel, the Orlando radio station WYGM, and Prince George Journal, along with the fucking Florida Governor Rick Scott, who signed a resolution officially recognizing them as the 2017 national champions. And they got recognized at the 2018 Pro Bowl, went to Walt Disney World, did the whole fucking shit, and was honored by the Orlando mayor, and they still are not national champions.
But that's an issue you potentially run into with the, I don't want to say with the unconferencing and stuff, but that's a potential issue that you can run into of fucking Notre Dame did it this fucking season. A team that thought that they were so uppity.
They never reached the MAC championship game. They couldn't cut it in the MAC. Yep.
You know what? That's all Notre Dame would have to do if you think about it. Join CUSA, the Sun Belt, the MAC, something like that. Kick ass every year, and then be ranked in the top 4 because they've gone undefeated.
They lose way too much money.
Well,
and then they'd get into the playoff every year.
You guys know what happened in 2020, right? The reason why we have an ACC schedule is because in 2020 we joined the ACC for the 2020 season.
Yeah, because COVID.
We were part of the ACC one season.
Long before that.
But that's the thing. We have an ACC schedule. We end with winning records for the most part. Why the fuck do we not just fucking join?
Because right now, you have the excuse of, hey, we've never won a conference championship. That's because we've never played for one. You still have that excuse.
It's fucking bullshit. It legit is fucking irritating. I've talked with fucking Notre Dame fans that I know, and fucking over it. I'm trying to be like, figure out the nicest way. It's fucking bullshit. I'm fucking.
You want to hear the 2026 schedule for Notre Dame while we're talking about it?
I already fucking saw it. It is.
You kick off Sunday, September 6th, playing the Wisconsin Badgers at Lambeau Field. And then you have Rice at home. Lambeau, Michigan State
they offered
at home. Purdue at Purdue. North Carolina at North Carolina. BYU at BYU. Navy at Foxborough. Miami at home. Boston College at home. SMU at home. Syracuse at Syracuse, and Stanford at home.
That's a fucking ACC schedule. We're playing the ACC conference.
You guys know you're only 1-0 against Ball State? You only ever played Ball State a single time?
How the fuck?
How
We're
bad
never
was
gonna do
that?
it again. We fucking played NIU to fucking whoop our ass.
They're 24-5-1 against IU, 57-26-2 against Purdue, 0-0 against Indiana State, and 1-0 against Valpo.
I forgot Valpo had a football team. They're D2.
They're typically pretty decent. They're either, I can't remember if they're decent or really bad. I can't remember.
So yeah, notable
that
teams.
Wisconsin game is a part of the Shamrock series.
Correct.
Yeah.
Even though it's not played overseas.
We also have the shillelagh with
Michigan
Purdue.
State.
No. Well, we have one with them, but we also have one with Purdue. And then we also have a blowhorn.
What conference is Rice in? I can honestly say that I don't
American.
know. Because I was going through looking
American
through
or
your
CUSA?
SEC schedule. Because you've got 3 Big Ten right off rip. And then Navy's not ACC anymore. So,
they are in American.
Yeah. So that means that it's North Carolina, BYU, but BYU is an ACC.
They're Big 12.
So your ACC schedule is not very ACC-like.
No, because the ACC school said "fuck you" after we moved out of the bowl game.
Well, I looked, and you guys still have to play 5 games a year against ACC teams until 2036, no matter what. Like, you guys have an agreement with the ACC to do that. So, why would you not just join the ACC?
That's already 6
it
games.
Has been
is conference.
About 20 minutes of this, of just fucking shitting on Notre Dame because they won't fucking join the ACC. I don't get it. I genuinely, I don't fucking get it.
Or here's a curveball. They become Notre Dame State.
They could.
And they can go join the state conference.
A Pac-12.
Yeah.
I'm just... the way I go about it is... what one would have the most rivalries for us to play in?
One of those two.
We would have Miami and Boston College.
Are you talking about hypothetical ACC conferences and Notre Dame joined?
I'm just talking rivalry games and what conference we'd have the most
probably
rivalry
the same
games.
5 games you play every year. I would probably say that's the rivalry games you would pick for the ACC.
Miami is one of them. Boston College is one of them. Big Ten, we have... I don't know if that's...
Stanford's ACC, I believe. Once upon a time, I think they would have been a part of the Pac-12, but...
The Crystal Bowl. So yeah, there's like... Big Ten and ACC are the two that we have the big rivalries with.
It's almost like you're in the middle of both conferences.
It's almost like we just need to fucking pick the ACC because we're fucked over. Because we're stuck with them for another 10 years.
I would say to put a final bow, though, on this college football season, especially for IU, the 2-year turnaround is finally complete. You go undefeated year 2 after a first-round exit year 1 as Curt Cignetti just does what he does and wins, I guess. And it just continues to carry on. So I guess we will have to see what next year holds for the Hoosiers and the rest of college football, but I'm sure it's not going to get any less crazy, just like the NFL is only getting crazier as the playoffs progress and coaches continue to change positions and spots, new faces, new places, or old places. You never know.
Some very strange choices happening.
And there was also a couple upsets so far in the playoffs, leading up to a couple interesting conference finales here. So in the wild card round, you had the Rams beating the Panthers in a very, very close game. Came down to, I want to say, a game-winning field goal from the Rams
Correct.
to win the game. Panthers, no shot in hell at the beginning of the season, and just secretly, quietly made the playoffs, a lot like the Bears who beat the Packers. I didn't hear shit about the Bears all year. And now
they
here
ended
they
up
are,
with the 2 seed.
the 2 seed in the NFC, beating the Packers. This is the first time this has happened since Pearl Harbor, that the Bears beat the Packers in the wild card round. After that, Bills beat the Jaguars, another 3-point game. After that, 4-point game, 49ers beat the Eagles. Not really close game between the Patriots and Chargers, and then the absolute blowout of the first round, wild card round, the Texans Steelers 30-6. Possibly Aaron Rodgers' final game. Don't really know. He's not keen on returning to Pittsburgh, but he has said he wanted to retire. I think that's probably the most probable course of action here. He said Pittsburgh said they would be open to him coming back, but he wanted to work with Tomlin. Tomlin's not there. Following round, divisional round, the Broncos beat the Bills on the most fucking bullshit interception call I think I have ever seen. And then they canned Sean McDermott, and Josh Allen wants to sit there and cry. If I'm Sean McDermott, I would be pissed as shit. Not very close game between the 49ers and Seahawks after that. 41-6, the Seahawks cruise to the conference championship.
We saw a murder.
Bills asked a team that was already hurt.
And then opposite of the Broncos in the conference championship, run it back of the Sheriff versus, I don't even know what Tom Brady's fucking nickname was. But we got the Broncos versus Patriots, 28-16.
Mr. Super Bowl.
Patriots beat the Texans, and then the Rams beat the Bears by 3, and in overtime. Very, very good game. Very good
After
overtime
Caleb
game.
Williams played hero ball.
I saw
And then
that.
choked.
And they said this on the broadcast, and I've said this like 4 times to anyone that's listened, but there is really only like 4 people that can make that throw, and he is one of them. And I think the Colts have the other one.
They're saying,
in
weirdly
AR.
enough, AR could also make that throw.
And I was saying this watching the game, whatever fucking offense the Bears are running, we need to run that with AR. I think that would work.
Yeah.
You're sitting there making
simple.
that face. The Colts literally just need to play the same exact football the Bears are because they're better positionally. The Colts have a better wide receiver core than the Bears. They have a better running back than the Bears. Caleb Williams is just a better quarterback than AR, but how much? Now, I don't think athletic-wise he's better at all. Mentally, he's better football IQ-wise. He knows when to throw it, when not to throw it. He probably has better control of the ball.
Where my
Better
face
accuracy.
comes from is AR just, I don't think even if they start him, they sign Daniel Jones back. He's not going to be back for a little bit. You start AR going
I think
into
week 10.
Yeah, you have AR. I think you're going to be right back where you fucking are. He's going to do something fucking stupid where he's going to run headfirst into somebody. He's going to run headfirst into some Joe Schmo that's going to knock him the fuck out because he doesn't know when to slide, when to not go headfirst into a fucking tackle, and when to get rid of the ball when he absolutely needs to.
Well, Caleb
He's
Williams
proven
did
that
some of
multiple
that.
games.
he tried to truck somebody. And that's why that's AR out there. That's just a little more football-minded AR. I don't know. I saw it, and it gave me hope for the Colts, but I don't think the Colts are going to do that. I don't think I don't know. They should. I hope they took notes. I hope they thought what I thought when I was watching it. And that led to the Rams-Seahawks Conference Championship.
Amazing game.
Pulling for Stafford there, and then, like I said, the aforementioned Patriots-Broncos AFC Championship game. Pulling for the Broncos there, but Broncos without their Messiah, pretty much, Bo Nix. They're rolling out Jarrett Stidham in the AFC Conference game with Sam Ellinger as his backup. Sorry,
but
I didn't.
Oh my God, you're not going to sign Cam Newton?
No.
Fuck off.
Fucking
You're a bum.
No.
Whatever the fuck he said to Keon Coleman.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be playing like our number one. Cam Newton, you ain't played like a number one in how many years? We give that grace to the rookies. Yeah, we gave that grace to you back when you had your MVP season 10 years ago. You're a washed up bum.
And lost.
How about that? How about that? Fucking idiot.
I do have the final count on which conference would give Notre Dame the most consistent rivalry games, and it is the Big Ten. It's 5-4.
Well, yeah, because you canceled the Michigan rivalry because you didn't want the smoke.
Yeah, Michigan started
Michigan,
getting good.
Michigan State, Northwestern, Purdue, and USC.
And Wisconsin, right? Doesn't Wisconsin have one?
It's not one of their
Oh.
major ones that is because
And
they
then
don't even have
also-
Miami in here anymore.
Also
yeah, Catholic
talking
versus cons isn't a thing.
about the NFL, I've got a list of the movers, head coaches going places. The Atlanta Falcons, one of the newest ones here. Stefanski being
Yep.
hired to the Falcons as their head coach, and president of football, Matt Ryan, also being added. And then offensive coordinator Tommy Rees. And then
That's a combination.
the Chargers go out and pick up Mike McDaniel. That's going to be really scary. Harbaugh,
There
Mike
should have been
McDaniel.
more of a dogfight for Mike McDaniel as OC. It should
Yeah.
not be that easy for the Chargers to get him. If I
Well,
am
he still had some
Detroit,
interviews for a
if
head
I
coach.
am Indy, if I am anywhere who has a struggling offense, I am busting down his door trying to get him, and he just
still
waltzes right into the Chargers front office.
He still had Browns and Baltimore to go to for head coach,
Why would you
which
want
I
to
don't
go?
think he would have gone to Browns. But
I wouldn't want to go to either one of those places over the Chargers.
Baltimore
Go work with
maybe.
Justin Herbert.
Baltimore just dropped
Baltimore
their
doesn't have a
fucking
head
coach.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Justin
Like he was
Herbert
fucking
and Jim Harbaugh.
nothing. But Baltimore's loss is Giants' gain.
It is. We will
I'll-
get to
I'll
that
fucking take it.
eventually. Whenever they pop up, I'll give you your time to talk about it, because times might be turning. And
Jesus Christ, I didn't know Danny Smith was 72.
yeah, Danny Smith, special teams coordinator for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and then Robert Saleh getting signed to the Tennessee Titans.
I don't know how I feel about that
And
one.
we get to
Top
see if
tier.
he's actually going to kill Cohen.
Yeah.
Good luck, sir.
And then Dolphins taking John Hafley, Packers defensive coordinator. I said this to Caleb. I just think defensive-minded coordinators and head coaches don't work in today's game.
No.
Dan Campbell.
He's not defensive-minded. He might be. I don't know. I feel like every time I see him, he's talking about his offense.
Yeah.
Considering he was a tight
He
end.
talks about his offense, but
He was a tight end.
his
himself.
offense isn't what he's setting up. Majority of the if you look at this fucking season, he did not set up an offense to
I don't
fucking
know.
go places.
All I'm saying is I feel like all the head coaches now, like your Mike McDaniel, that was super
Reed.
hyped up. Like, these are your offensive coordinators, and they came from offensive backgrounds. I'm not saying that a defensive coordinator can be a good head coach. I'm just saying the super successful ones that built dynasties and such. I think Sean McDermott would be a good one to look at. I don't know if he came from being a defensive coordinator or not. Maybe that's
about
why
can't
he's
remember.
but that's an
Maybe
old
that's why he's
defensive coordinator.
mishandling Josh Allen, because he doesn't know how to handle it. I have no idea. But just food for thought. My thought when I heard it, so I thought you would go get someone else, but Miami is also kind of in a rebuilding mode, I feel like, so probably don't want to go get a big name head coach.
When you said defensive coordinator as head coach, my brain immediately went to Belichick.
I thought he was offensive.
He was New York Giants defensive coordinator. He worked with Lawrence Taylor. Brother worked with Lawrence Taylor, and then went to he was going to be head coach for the Browns or Jets, and then
Well, I know he
went to
was
the
on the Browns.
Patriots.
He was on the Browns
And
with Nick
then-
Saban.
The biggest head-scratching move of the year is what's coming next. I will never understand this.
General manager John Eric Sullivan. Are you talking about
The
That
Detroit-
next team. The next
Detroit Lions?
team. Yeah.
the
Going out
hiring
and getting
Petzing?
Drew Petzig, the Coordinator for the Cardinals, a mid-tier offense at best. You are struggling offensively, so you're going to go get a mid-offensive coordinator. What the fuck?
Struggling offensive coordinator. They just fit together.
Coach that doesn't know offense, with an offensive coordinator that doesn't know offense, with a team that doesn't have an offense.
Eli, I think it's your turn.
Yeah.
Negatives all equal out here.
Well, hold on. There's one other one below this as far as hirings go, and then we get into firings. Because there are more spots open than they have been filled. So the other one before we let Eli talk is the Commanders signed David Blough, offensive coordinator. Blau, however you say it.
I didn't see that one.
He was the QB coach beforehand.
Yeah. So the Giants went out and got themselves John Harbaugh from the Ravens. John Harbaugh wanted to run an entire franchise pretty much himself, and the Giants said, sure, name your number. And I don't blame them at all. I think there was a lot of teams that could have benefited from this. I think the Colts should have. I think the Raiders should have. But the Giants...
That's a scary thought.
Very, very good choice.
Ooh,
that is a
imagine Fernando with the Harbaugh.
That's the thought that just came to mind. That is
no. Here, time out. Let me make it even better. Guess who he's handing the ball off to? Ashton
Jeanty.
Guess who his tight end is? Brock
Oh
Bowers.
my god.
Yeah.
All that was John Harbaugh. How scary the Raiders are going to be.
John Harbaugh could have fixed the relationship with Max Crosby too.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh my god, that's a fuck.
That's why I was as like a half Raiders fan or like self-proclaimed Raiders fan. I would have been ecstatic if we got John Harbaugh. I was wanting him.
That would have.
But now I have no idea who we're going to end up signing. So I think the Giants is probably the second best place he could have went.
Yeah. They can basically hand
possibly
the
try to turn something around. That way he can just play fucking dynasty mode. That's probably the best way to go.
It is going to be hopefully a complete turning of the tides over in not New York, it's New Jersey. We aren't in New York anymore. We are in New Jersey. We're in a stadium that breaks ankles and tears ACLs. If you go out onto that field, you are not walking out the same man you were. Because you more than likely will be injured. Ask our own fucking players. I think we hurt more of our players than we hurt anybody else this season. But you have, for the most part, a young offense with the New York Giants. I mean, you have Jackson Dart. You have a mentor in Jameis Winston, not the young part of it, but you have a mentor in Jameis Winston. As long as we retain him, I hope we do. I think Jackson Dart will do better with having a mentor in his corner. Get rid of fucking Russell Wilson, please.
Mr. Unlimited.
He is very limited. Scatterboot comes back. That's going to be even fucking better. You have Malik Neighbors fully healthy. That's going to be fucking better. Robinson, going to be fucking amazing, hopefully. You have Tracy in the back pocket as well. You have a pretty damn good receiver core. Tight end we could probably work a little bit better on. You have a good running back. You have a good quarterback room. You have a good offense. Get a little bit of fix on the offensive line. That's something we've needed to fix for quite a while, and we haven't really fucking done. Our defense is pretty fucking good for the most part. Get somebody in there that knows what the fuck they're doing, and we can get it fucking fixed. It'll be fine. But you can't make fucking plays behind an offensive line if your offensive line has the same textile strength as a fucking piece of floss. It ain't gonna fucking do shit against somebody running at it. If I put a piece of floss on a football field, I don't expect it to hold somebody up. Now, MetLife, I just gotta hope that the field takes their soul before they take my quarterback's soul at this point. Because one of two things is gonna happen. They're gonna kill my quarterback, or they're gonna tear their own ACL. I know which one I'm banking on if I'm a fan of the Giants. But more than likely, Scatterboo's going to tear his ACL on it again next season, and Malik Neighbors will catch it, come down, and destroy his leg again, and I'll lose both of them again. I'm a Giants fan. I hold no hope. I really need to spin a fucking wheel of teams and pick new people.
Last time you did that, you ended up a Chargers fan for a year.
And a Browns fan for a year. Let's forget about that. I still can name more fucking Chargers players than I can name Giants players. That is a fucking problem.
Hey,
you know how bad of a
Joe
problem
Alt
that
for the
is?
Hall of Fame, my guy.
That is a fucking problem. But no, I'm hoping Harbaugh can bring in something new to a team that is very young, very seemingly ready to change the culture that we have in the locker room and around the New York Giants. I mean, you look at the New York Giants more recently and you look at a team that can't fucking win for shit. A team that has only ever had, fun fact, 2 first-round picks ever. Like the number 1 overall pick ever. Twice. The whole time they've been a football team. I think we hit a
Never
century
been
final.
bad enough.
We almost hit that for the 3rd fucking time this season, and then we beat the Raiders. I would have rather have taken that, get fucking Mendoza or March on the team. March on the team and fucking been happy, but whatever. It is what it is. But this just, to me, I'm hoping for, and it sounds terrible, a Coughlin-esque era where we have playoff and we go to the playoffs. I'm happy if we just make the playoffs.
I guess
I'm just hoping we can make playoffs. We won 2 playoffs with McCaughlin. One with, we were one of the worst fucking teams in the playoff, and we beat the undefeated Patriots. The other time, we just beat the Patriots. So, and then we make the playoffs with them.
Oh, also, that Hangman picture is a way bigger deal than I thought it was. Like, every other tweet I see is about it.
Yeah.
So, Hangman's losing the title next Dynamite or Collision, I'm hearing?
I don't know. We will probably see.
2 babyface Death Riders. Which is fucking weird as shit, but no, I'm hoping for a better season this upcoming season with the Giants. Through the off season, obviously we have the draft. We'll have some free agency. Trades will obviously be made. Cap space is a bit of an issue with the Giants. Some contracts are probably going to need to be restructured, or some people are going to probably be on their way out. I already know how this works. The Giants have been in a rebuilding phase for a few seasons now. It's a never-ending story. I'm just hoping we get to the part of where we are able to make it back to a team that's able to make it to the playoffs, not almost number 1 pick multiple seasons in a row, just skirting by because we won the game that we probably shouldn't have won. Like this season with the Raiders. That's the only thing I'm holding out for at this point.
So, in chronological order, these are the firings. Obviously, some of these spots will have been filled. Like the Chargers, who are the second most recent. But the most recent on this one, Bills fired head coach Sean McDermott. After 9 seasons with the team, he went 98-50 with the team in the regular season, but 8-8 in the playoffs. After that, I guess before that, since it was the most recent, you get what I'm saying. Chargers fired offensive coordinator Greg Roman, filled by Mike McDaniel. Buccaneers obviously filled the offensive coordinator spot, but they fired Josh Grizzard to do so. And then Thomas McGockney, I think that's how you say it.
Yep.
Special teams coordinator got fired. Obviously, the Dolphins fired Mike McDaniel. Ravens fired Harbaugh. And then the offensive coordinator got fired from the Lions as John Morton. Defensive coordinator Joe Witt Jr. from the Commanders got fired. Defensive coordinator Matt Eberflus from the Cowboys got fired. Head coach Jonathan Gannon from the Arizona Cardinals got fired. And then the Raiders cleaned house, firing head coach, offensive coordinators, and special teams coordinator Pete Carroll, Chip Kelly, and Tom McMahon. Sorry, I'm fighting. This drainage is still kicking my ass. Special teams coordinator Tom McMahon all fired. Browns fired Stefanski, obviously, because he got hired somewhere else. And then Falcons fired head coach Raheem Morris and general manager Terry Fontenot.
Yeah.
And then before the season ended, there was obviously some head coach firings, and the special teams coordinator Chase Blackburn got fired from the Rams. And
Dable, them, yeah.
Yeah. And then Mike Tomlin left the Steelers. That's another opening. Eagles offensive coordinator spot is open. Commanders offensive coordinator spot open. General manager spot, I think Dolphins filled that. But yeah, a lot of moving and happening, and there's still a lot of open spots to tune in and keep up with as far as the NFL is concerned. Now, per the usual, we cover motorsports here as well. Very motorsports based. I don't want to say family, but racing runs in our family, and we're definitely based, I think, right in the heart of racing in the Midwest, especially with the Indy 500 taking place.
Nah, we the capital of racing. Fuck those people.
It is the racing capital of the world. But over in Oklahoma,
Crown jewel of the winter.
A little race. Quite a few races, actually.
They've been racing for a while, for about a week and a half worth of racing out there between the Tulsa Shootout and this year's Chili Bowl. Tulsa Shootout, for those of you who are unaware, is what happens in the Expo Center before the Chili Bowl. It's a bunch of lightning sprints, stock, open, stuff like that. 4,000 cars entered, and it was really great because you had old men racing with teenagers and stuff like that. And the highlight was when a 40-year-old man said he was going to beat a 13-year-old's ass. Highlight of the entire Tulsa Shootout. Also, while I'm getting the rest of this info pulled up, shout out to Des Moines, Iowa, and the Battle in the Barn. For those of you who don't know what the Battle in the Barn is, in the Des Moines, Iowa display arena, I don't know what else to call it, they run this crown jewel event of the winter where it's literally just a bunch of pit bikes, go-karts, motorized tricycles, a run what you brung class. It's brilliant.
And they can hear the announcer the entire time? Like, you can hear that they hear the announcer?
There was plenty of pants on the ground from what I heard. But now we will be talking about the Chili Bowl itself. It took place over, I believe it was 5 nights. 6 nights, because quick trip on Saturday. Night 1 is always the champions, race of champions, stuff like that. Christopher Bell won night 1, beating notable names like Kyle Larson, Justin Grant, and plenty of others who have won this race in the past. Christopher Bell got it done night 1. Night 2, Blake Hahn. Night 2, Wednesday night, was a little weak from what I saw, but Blake Hahn won and secured his spot on Saturday in the A main. Emerson Axum, remember the name. Emerson Axum won the next night's feature, locking himself into the main show on Saturday. And then right after that, Seabell won his actual night of racing, so he gets locked in as well. Hard Rock Casino qualifying night on the 16th. Logan Seavey won the main event and locked himself into the feature. Kyle Larson also finished second somewhere in there, so he was one of the ones that got locked in as well. Then begins the greatest day in dirt track racing, Chili Bowl Saturday. They call it Championship Saturday for a reason.
Sun up to sundown.
The racing starts at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, which is 8 a.m. Tulsa time, and does not stop until 10
Probably
p.m.,
10,
11 p.m., depending on how the racing goes. As every car that has been entered into the Chili Bowl is seeded in races going down the alphabet. The A main is the big show, so that's where your winners and your second place finishers are. So then you have your B main, C main, D main, all the way out this year until there originally was supposed to be a Q main this year. But enough cars wrecked out and flipped and couldn't get put back together to where they called off the Q main. There was two flights. So you had, for example, you had P main 1 and P main 2. So they just kind of funneled in. They took the top 2 from every race, and when you transfer, they took the top 6 from every race, and they were tacked on to the end of the next race as transfer racing works. There was a record broken and then rebroken in the same night as Dylan Nida driving the Mission Tortilla car, the 3D, made his way through a unprecedented 8 events. He was not able to transfer out of 9. However, I believe it was Matthew Potnui. Let me get the text from Delbert because he was texting me. It's the last name that gets me every time. Sorry, Matthew Leopold. Won 4 of the heat races he transferred out of, and transferred out of 8 as well into the 9th, and could not transfer out of the 9th. So the record was broken and then tied in the same night by 2 different guys. Something to point out, Nida is 18 years old and is trying to use his Chili Bowl run, his soup run as they're calling it, to get a full-time sprint car ride. And from everything I've seen in the last couple days since Chili Bowl has ended, he has it. And so after you get done running the soup and all that kinds of fun stuff, now comes the main event, where the top 25 finishing cars all line up on the surface and let it rip for 60 laps, I think it was. It's a very small track for, those who have no idea what we're talking about. It is a super tiny track. It's inside of a warehouse in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So when you say 25 cars is not easy to fit on this track. But the 25 that made it to the feature, and reading it as they finished from last to first, Wout Hoffman's, he just wrecked out early. Kyle Larson, I know that made Austin real happy. I bet he's a CJ Leary fan now. Probably get him a CJ Leary shirt for his birthday or something. As Kyle Larson, and it was lap 6 or lap 8, somewhere in there. It was one of the even laps. And they were racing down the backstretch. Larson was racing Axum for the lead and got caught up behind a slowed CJ Leary. And Larson decided, rather than passing him, that he wanted to put his midget in the wall. And did a flip exactly like he did at the Indy 500, right on the backstretch, nose first, and then tumbled. So, you can change the discipline, but you can't change the driver. Ahead of Kyle Larson, everybody else: Tim Buckwaller, Jet Barnes, Shane Goblick, Kyle Cummins, very familiar with Kyle Cummins here in Evansville, Indiana, and on the podcast. Shame that he wrecked out. Ryan Bendall, Justin Grant, another very familiar name. Corbin Ruskenberg, Corey Copeland, and then Gavin Bosch. CJ Leary ended up finishing 13th. So, he was able to turn it around. Blake Hahn, your night one winner, finished 12th. Darren Pittman, and getting into the top 10, Tanner Thorsten finished in the top 10. Spencer Baston, 9th. Christopher Bell, after having that strong showing, winning 2 events earlier in the week, ended up only finishing 8th. Cannon McIntosh, really good driver, but sometimes you just don't. You gotta have luck to win the Chili Bowl, and apparently luck wasn't on his side, as he finished 7th. Dason Pursley finished 6th. Briggs Danner 5th. Logan Seavey finished 4th after just some really bad luck on the closing segment. Hank Davis finished 3rd. Kevin Thomas Jr. finished 2nd, and your winner of the 40th annual Chili Bowl, Emerson Axum, got it done. And for the 21-year-old from Franklin, Indiana, you can't write a better story. You really can't. Other notable names, some NASCAR names that showed up and didn't do too hot. JJ Yeley was there and didn't get out of his C main. Seabell was there. Hocevar was there but didn't run for some reason, so that had you wondering. Other notable names in the world of motorsports, we had some IndyCar guys show up. It is Santonio, right? Ferrucci?
Yes, Santino Ferrucci.
Santino Ferrucci. Did not get out of his main either. He showed up, ran, and then could not control the car. And I believe that was all the big, out of town, quote unquote, names that raced this year. So yeah, it's a great time. One of these years I will get down there and I will get to watch this racing, because I've heard stories about this for all of my life, and god damn it, I need to see it in person. So yeah, Thomas Meserol did not get out of his heat either, and that made me so happy, because fuck that guy. But yeah, that was your 40th annual Chili Bowl and Tulsa shootout recap. Didn't talk much about the shootout, but when the highlight is fights and physically having to remove people from the premise, that's just kind of what it is.
Yeah, I was reading. I didn't know Brian Clausen was only 27 when he died.
Yeah.
I figured
It's even crazier is that he was actually gonna be able to knock out the 100 races in a year that year.
Well, and I was just doing a lot of reading. He apparently was a development driver for Chip Ganassi in NASCAR at that time too.
Yep.
I don't remember him starting 3 500s. I remember him starting 1. I don't remember him starting 3 Indy 500s. So they said he started 3.
I don't remember the other 2, but I remember the one I was there for when he led lap 100.
Yeah, I remember that. I don't remember. I remember qualifying. I remember him at qualifying. I don't remember him ever qualifying besides that one. But I was going down the list of winners, and 2014 was when he won. So I was like, well, I don't remember him dying. I thought it was around then when he died. And it was
2016, wasn't it?
Yep. And
I mean, in other motorsport news, I mean, you mentioned NASCAR.
Mm-hmm.
McDonald's has left NASCAR. There will no longer be the golden arches on the hood of Bubba Wallace's car. Instead, it's going to be the Hardee's / Carl's Jr. Smiling Star, as McDonald's has opted to put the golden arches on the Red Bull Challenger for the 2026 season. So that's a pretty big change. I mean, I think it's been what 23, 33 years that that McDonald's has been in NASCAR in some way, shape, or form.
Something absurd.
Yeah,
And the
it's
fact that they
been way
just
longer than you'd expect.
and the fact that they just leave for F1 too.
Yeah. But they're going to a team that has the best driver in the world. So, that car is going to get a lot of screen time. So, I mean.
Well, don't you know Kyle Larson's the best driver in the world? Don't you remember that
I do
argument
remember. I remember that
between
discourse.
Max Verstappen and fucking
And,
Kyle Larson, who can't drive an Indy car?
and I remember when they brought it up to Max, he basically little broed Kyle Larson.
Yeah, he was like, "Who?"
Yeah, basically was like, yeah, we'll have to see, because he hasn't driven half the shit I've driven, so we'd have
Well,
to see.
Same could be said about Kyle. Verstappen hasn't driven a midget or a.
He hasn't driven a midget or a sprint car or a late model
But
or
they
anything like
don't have
that.
that over there. They only have their
Yeah,
dirt track is karting.
yeah.
So
But
it's a give
Larson's
and a take.
never driven the Mercedes Enduro. He's never driven the sports car at Spa. The list could go on and on both ways. So it's literally apples to oranges.
I say the teams just trade him for a handful of years and see what the fuck happens. I mean,
I can't wait till
that's the
Max
only
gets
way.
tired of F1 and then just goes and does random side quests. And then, one year we see him pop up at the Indy 500 and the next year at Daytona or just some really just random ass shit.
I wish Alonso would come back to the 500. I
I
think
know.
McLaren might finally have it kind of figured out. And I
Well,
think only from the fact of he was the one that brought McLaren into the sport.
Yeah.
And he was the pioneer of it.
Well, my thing
he
is,
got fucked over bad.
McLaren was half a mile from winning the 500 last year.
Yeah.
2 years ago.
2 turns, yeah. Got past
Yeah.
in turn 3.
Yeah, on the outside of turn 3. The only pass on the outside of turn 3 all damn day.
So, I mean, they can do it. I wouldn't mind seeing him coming back. I don't know what the relationship's like there. I don't know.
I think it'd be really cool to have him be that fourth seat that they always roll out for the 500.
I was going to say either that, or I'm sure some other team would be willing to bring him in. That would be the issue of car troubles again, but
yeah. Well, here's
it's
the
all
really
for naught.
weird thing. We've got 2 weird things going on in IndyCar right now. Number 1, apparently the last seat is in the air, and the 2 names being kicked around. It's the Junicos Holliger seat, the last seat. It's either going to be Yuki Tsunoda because of his ties to Honda, or it's going to be Romain Grosjean.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, for the last seat in the IndyCar series. The last full-time seat.
It can't.
So,
you don't think they go back to Grosjean, right?
I don't think they do, but...
Excuse me, I thought they had a pretty nasty... I thought it was a pretty back and forth relationship between them. I felt like I could be wrong. It could have been directed towards other people.
No, I feel like I heard it too.
But I wanted to say he was always complaining about his fucking car and his crew, and
I feel like I remember that as well.
so that'll be cool. Seeing Yuki Tsunoda, or Tsunoda, however you say it, another F1 driver that maybe couldn't really cut it and just make the jump to.
Well,
I don't want to say Ericsson because I feel like Ericsson didn't do too bad in F1, but he wasn't.
I mean, Ericsson never really got a fair shot, but he was basically, with Ericsson, he was the Chris Bosch of that rookie class. There were so many other good rookies in that class because Ericsson came up at the same time that Pierre Gasly, Max Verstappen, Charles Leclerc, all the other drivers that are really good now. He came up at that same time, and there just wasn't
Grosjean
room.
never escaped Haas.
Yeah, Grosjean could never get past. And then COVID hit, and
I thought there was a couple more. Of
F1 drivers driving IndyCar? Sato.
Rossi, I guess.
Rossi, Sato. Sato only drives in the 500, but McLaughlin didn't drive F1, but he did the supercar thing, so it's kind of, sort of, not really.
That's just showing me a bunch of like historic examples. But yeah, you're right. Oh, Sebastian Bourdais, does he still race?
Not that I'm aware of.
I'll probably say I thought he retired after he broke his leg, or he like ran
Colton
for a couple
Herta?
of years after that.
Colton Herta?
Well, he's just going over there, isn't he?
Yeah. Did you hear he's going to try to do the 500 this year? He's going to try to balance the F2 season and pick up a 500 ride somewhere along the way.
Hey man, props to him if he can do it. He'd just have to take the one most important week of the year off for him.
Yeah.
Because F2 races there.
Quali week, yeah. Well, I don't know if F2 runs in Monaco.
I figured they did.
I don't think they do. Well, in Monaco's not even that week anymore because they ruined the crown jewel of motorsports.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Because now it's the race in Canada.
I forgot about that.
Because it was the racing trifecta. Because you never had to leave your couch. Because you could, in the morning, watch Monaco, Indy 500 at noon, Coke 600 at night.
If you were in Indiana, you couldn't watch the 500 because it was blacked out.
Unless you're in one of the tips of the state.
Or it got sold out.
Yep.
Eli, when are you going to the 500?
I don't even... Outside of the track in town, I've not been to any racing events.
Speaking of Indy, Coke, now the main...
Yeah, soda sponsor of IMS. But
yeah, people will be drinking Coke everywhere around IMS now.
Is there anything else?
There's a landmine that just triggered over here. To ignore that.
Anything else we're forgetting? Baseball's new off season.
Oh, the Yankees just signed Bellinger.
It's my heater.
Oh yeah, they did do that.
That's fucking terrifying. It's not on the ground. Why the fuck did it just do that? It's in my hand. Please don't do that.
The Dodgers single-handedly put us in lockout next year, so congratulations to the Dodgers for ruining baseball.
Yay.
Because there is a large enough minority of owners who are going to push for a salary cap / salary floor, and that will be enough to put us into a lockout. So enjoy your baseball while you can, folks.
We really are just... Everything's a circle, isn't it?
Yeah.
Circle of life, it comes for us all.
That point just moves every time. That's the only difference.
Yeah.
Well, I enjoy being back in 2016. It's been great.
I don't think it's a 10-year cycle. I think it's more like 20 to 30. Because wasn't the 90s or early 2000s the last time we had a super severe MLB lockout?
I want to say it was 2002.
It might have been 2011. But... I can't remember.
2021.
Well, yeah, I remember when that happened.
Yeah, but that wasn't a real serious one. 72
the first lockout was 1990. So the first one since 1990 that they called them most recent major lockout.
The 94-95 strike is the worst strike of all time. It canceled 938 games and the entire 94 postseason, including the World Series in 94.
Look, if we want to go back to the 90s, for the most part, shut the fuck up, Peter. If we want to go back to the 90s for the most part, I'm okay with it. As long as we don't go back to the 20s and 30s and 40s and 50s.
But yeah, the
60s.
21-22 lockout just pushed opening day back a week. The same thing happened in 1990. the big strike happened in 81 with 713 games, but every other lockout hasn't really affected games unless you're the
let's
72
stop going
lockout.
backwards in time, please. I don't want to
So,
keep going backwards in time.
I mean, I don't see the owners of the big market teams being, oh yeah, let's limit the money we can spend. But there's enough teams in the MLB who want the ability to retain their talent.
It's not going to change anything with the Phillies. We're going to fucking suck either way. There was one of you guys fucking sent a MLB. No, I'm the one that sent it. The MLB commissioner talked about realignment to make it easier on the players.
I sent it, yeah.
Fucking yeah, I would totally love to be in the same fucking thing as the damn Mets and Yankees. Oh, that sounds like a blast being a Phillies fan. I would love to never make the playoffs again. That sounds fucking fun.
Just get better.
We need our deferred pays to be able to do that.
Don't even get me started about a deferred contract. But yeah, outside of that, I think that's everything. Unless you want to talk about LeBron not being an all-star starter for the first time in his career.
He needs to fucking retire.
Yeah, I'm not worried about him. I don't think anybody's
his son's not the answer either.
Oh, just like Marty Scurll, no one gives a fuck about Marty Scurll, and they're soon not going to give a fuck about Hangman Adam Page by extension because he likes to hang out with pedos, and Marty Scurll himself is a pedo. And you don't want to hang out with people like that, so make sure you hang out with us. Stick around here for a little while. We'll catch you on down the road, because we are your ace in the hole. Yeah.